Hello everybody, my name is KingStix and I have a brand new coaching video for you today. It is going to be a Warwick jungle, so hip hip hooray. It's an EUS player, I believe is silver 3. I'll double check for the thumbnail. Let's get right into it. So you did start the correct items, your machete, regen bead, and warding totem. Looks good so far. Alright, so you're going to get a leash from your bot lane on your blue buff. Against amumu, I really don't like this start. Amumu is extremely mana dependent early game. And he also has a bad clear. And lower elo people typically don't leash, so he would probably start red, go wolves, then blue. Or he might start blue. So what I would recommend you doing, now that camp spawning at 130, at 120 you should be right here and then make your way over. And then by the time you're over here, it should be 132, 133, which is fine because if he's on it, you're going to fuck him. So what you're going to do is you're going to get over here, lay your ward in the bush. And then even if the top laner's there, it's fine. You just wait to use the plant. So you walk back over and wait till it's around 600 HP. Pop the plant, Q smite, take it. Top laner is still here. You can just flash over the wall and run away. If the top laner is not here, you can just kill amumu or run away. Either or. But starting on your blue buff isn't good. Whenever you're a stronger early game jungler than the enemy jungler, amumu sucks in his first couple of levels and Warwick is hella strong. So I really don't like this start. Going Gromp. Good thing you smited it early. That's good. That way your W gives you more attack speed. Alright, so you got your blue and your Gromp, which is fine. However, like I said, I would have liked to see you done an invade. See Amumu's ganking top. It's good to keep it on your minimap. And he has red buff. What the fuck? And 4 CS. So you know he's only done red buff and he's already right here. So you know he just took your red, which is really weird start for Amumu. So right now, what I would do is I would probably just go straight to his blue right now and wait for him to start it and then kill him. So you realize what's happening. You're going to run down there. That's good. Smart move. You need to be patient. Don't go in there too soon. Alright, you wait, you take your time, that's good. Alright, and you get it. I probably would have queued the blue to make sure I got it. That auto attack was a little ambitious. Stay on him. Flash was a little sloppy. Good job queuing through him. You cut off his escape route. He goes back to the plant, fucks himself, and you should pick up the kill here. Alright, good job queuing through him. I saw when you first initially ran up to him, you accidentally canceled your auto attack. I'll show you what I mean. So right here, you walk up to him, you start your auto, you cancel it, and now that's when you queue through him. Make sure you don't panic. You'll have enough time. You're moving a lot faster than him. Run up, get off the auto attack. While you're autoing him, hover your cursor over him and hold down Q. That way you'll auto then Q. But good job getting the kill. At this point, you know that he took your red, you got his blue. So I wouldn't come back to this side of the jungle. Most likely he's going to come to this side, so I would go to his raptors right now. Good gank on the TF, you Q through him. Yasuo was sucking his own dick. Yasuo could have just flashed Q ignited and that would have been a kill. I don't know what he was doing. So you see Amumu just spawned in. I would take his raptors, kill the little ones first. Very good. You laid a ward in the bush. You're playing this perfectly. You could have even went into bush to lay your ghost portal if you didn't want to waste your ward. Alright. Whenever you know they're going to come through this side and you're more fed than them, whenever I'm doing the raptors, attack him and then like stand in the edge of the bush. That way when the enemy jungler comes, you can immediately attack them. Because now you're having to walk towards the bush once he's already in it. So now he'll have more time to get away. Auto attack, auto attack, auto attack Q. Good, he's low on health. Alright, you know he's going for that red buff. So you know he's probably going to be in this bush. And you also have your blood sense, so you know he's there. E, auto attack. Q through him, very smart. Great Q timing, you were patient. Well played. You're playing this really good. Okay, now you can easily take his red buff. This is pretty much a perfect example of counter jungling. And now you're moving on to his golems. At this point, you should have enough money for team at. Yeah, you do. You have 1,500. I'd take this and just go back. You know, there's no point in finishing these. You're not going to get much gold or experience off of these at that point. You'd be better off going back and just getting your team at. Or taking Scuttle first is also fine. Overall, really well played, man. So you went for your team map, great, and now you also have your Skirmisher Saber, perfect. I think Skirmisher Saber is going to be great against their team because the true damage is going to help you kill Amumu, take less damage from TF or Xayah. Honestly, Blue Smite and the warding jungle item isn't that good on Warwick. He really does need the Saber. So you got your Raptors, you got your red, very smart clearing those out first since they were still up. And now you can easily go in for this gank. Come in behind him. I would have gotten a little bit closer towards this edge of the bush and then done it, but it's fine. Slow elo. Keep running. Very smart. You knew he was going to throw out a skill shot, so don't stop to attack him because that's what they always expect. Just run past it. Just keep running. Don't actually engage yet. Very good. Garen's not on him yet. Since you are behind him, you don't want to Q through him now because he'll go this way and then he'll just run away. So just auto attack him. After the first auto attack, I'd probably activate my E. Yep, auto attack, Q through. Playing it perfectly. Dude, I feel like I'm watching myself play right now. This is so weird. Well played. I feel like you're a smurf. I feel like you're just fucking with me because you told me you were silver, like EU West or something, but you're playing this really good. Alright, your red buff's coming up. You just saw Amumu. He's right here. I would honestly stay in the area. He's level 3. There's no point in going back to your blue buff, and then you just saw he's coming back. Smart thing, you're turning around. You're keeping a close eye on your mini map. Very vigilant, very smart. I'd get in the bush. Hold on to your Q until he gets close to this. Oh, perfect, perfect. So he actually just did something weird. I don't know if he meant to do that, but you Q'd through him and then he hit it and then he went that way. I would have still gone for it, to be honest. Even though Vel'Koz is level 6 and Moom's only level 3. I guess you feel like Garen's not going to back you up though. W, you have this speed up. You should be able to catch him. Auto attack Q. Auto attack Q. Yep, good job Qing through with Eon. Yep, perfect. Team-Mat's a really good tool to secure a kill. You also would have gotten it, but you finished it off with your Team-Mat. Very smart. Good thing you used the Team-Mat once he was out of range of your auto attack. That because your Team-Mat actually has more range than your normal auto, so that's typically the tool you're going to use to secure it. Now you know his blue's coming up right now because it's yellow. That means it's 20 seconds or less. So you should honestly really stay in the area. You decide you want Raptors for some reason. Taking Moom's blue buff is a lot better. You are level 6. I would just ult him right now, to be honest. Just fucking ult him. So you decide you want to play it safe, so I guess you go onto him first with flash E to fear and then ult. It doesn't work out because he flashes too quick before you can reactivate. But you really need to work your way back over to Amumu's blue right now. He's level 3. You could easily take that shit. You decide, nah, you're just going to go do your own jungle. I think that's a big mistake. And at this point, you really should back. Get your red buff and I would just back. Or you should use your ult and gank while it's still up. Vel'Koz is pushing up. I'd work my way down over here unless you think it's warded. You decide you want Herald, that's fine. Keep working your way to the back of it. That also works on Warwick since you can Q through it. You just time it to Q through and then hit the back. Very good. Yeah, this was obviously going to be, if you were paying attention in the main map, this was obviously going to be gone by now. And you haven't used your ult yet. Auto attack, Q through him. I would ult him at this point. Good. You held on to your ult a little bit long. I wouldn't, whenever they're about to get underneath their turret, I wouldn't recommend holding on to it because if he would have flashed away, you could have potentially juked it. And then you would have been under his turret, which would have been a really bad spot. I would recommend you typically ulting right as your fear is about to end, because if you ult them right as they're coming out of your fear, they can't dodge it since they're still technically CC'd. Overall, though, well played. You do have Herald still, and getting first turret would snowball this game even farther. Oh, actually, never mind. Your Yasuo, you guys already got first turret. What I would do if I were you right now is probably try to camp bot lane at this point. There should be a lot of gold in it. Garen's not going to carry this game no matter what. Good job going on the Vel'Koz. Stay on with the Q. You need to be careful. If TF would have queued up a yellow card, you could have been in a really bad spot there. You did finish your Titanic Hydra before you finished your Warrior, which I'm not a huge fan of. Titanic costs too much money. Try to get your team at then Warrior or Cinder Hulk first, because Titanic costs a lot more gold and is more effective as a second item, not a first. W, you don't have ulti up. Yeah, this isn't worth chasing. Whenever they have a bunch of CC and you don't have ult or flash, you don't want to chase that. It's a waste of time. Your ult looks like it is going to be coming up here pretty soon. Q, get a double fear. Well played. Stay on the TF. Gianna, for some reason, ults him away. That didn't really make any sense. And you pick up the kill. Well played, man. I would probably do is I would ping Yasuo to come over here, and I'll just lay the Herald right now. And we could take the turret, me, Yasuo, and the Herald. Just break this down. I wouldn't really come back to catch this wave. It takes too much time. Now if you lay the Herald, they're all going to be here by now and defend it. That was a bad Herald lay. Yo, wow, you guys still do get the turret. For some reason, Amumu goes bot instead of going mid. Good for you guys. You are taking your time with laying your Herald. I would have just ran up and laid it, skipping these minions with Yasuo. I guess you figured the enemy's reaction time is going to be pretty slow. You lay it. Amumu's still bot lane for some reason. And then no one's really coming to contest you. You guys do get the turret, which is great. Ult the TF after the fear. Very smart. Stay on him. Well played, my man. You still got the Herald. Stay with this wave. You have quite a bit of minions. Break it down. You guys can take inhibitor if no one comes to contest you. I don't know why no one's coming to contest you. This game is funky. Now, Vel'Koz is really low. I'll just go solo him, to be honest. Oh, you can still get that. Auto attack Q. Perfect. Perfect, dude. You played that really well. You ran up, you auto attacked, you Q'd through him. Really well. You even used your Titanic Hydra in there. You E'd, you Q'd, you Q'd him immediately to get your health back, which was smart, so you didn't get bursted down. You also E'd to stay alive, very good. When you're fighting him here, you needed to attack, and you needed to attack him and move away from the wolves, or you needed to Q through the wolves to try to get away. But standing here and getting hit by the wolves and Amumu when you were that low was a bad choice. You need to be moving between auto attacks if you can. Looks like Yasuo DC'd. You did go for the Cinder Hulk and Sork Shoes. Sork Shoes aren't a horrible choice on Warwick, but overall, they're not the best choice either because you need a little bit more tankiness. I personally would have gone with Tabbies. The Xayah and the TF are going to be shredding you really hard. If you get hit by 1 CC on the enemy team, they can chain it and kill you instantly. You already have mid inhibitor. You might as well go bot with your bot lane and take this turret as well. You threw her. Good ult, trying to keep you alive. Your teammates didn't really follow up. Before you, even though you're fed, before you engage in a dive like this, you need to think to yourself, 1, do I have any armor? No, you don't. You don't have any armor because you didn't go Tabbies. Instead, you went Sork Shoes for some reason to get off a little bit more damage, which isn't really worth it. The Tabbies would have helped to keep you alive better. You're taking less damage from Braum, Xayah, and the turret because the turrets do AD. Now, if you don't have armor, and if your teammates don't have insane burst, you can't do it. So you had to think that, oh, Xayah and Braum are really fed. Ezreal and Janna are behind. Is this a smart thing to do? And the answer should have been no to that. Now, you could have dove them if you had minions there already, but you already took several turret shots before you could even engage because you didn't have minions. Alright, you're building some armor now. Very good. I assume you're going for a Thornmail or a Bramble Vest. You're starting to play more passive. You got really far ahead and then you just kind of stopped going into Mumu's jungle. Whenever you're ahead, you need to stay in the enemy's jungle because it keeps you closer to the enemy laners to gank. So if you're right here, you're closer to the enemy mid laner than you would be if you're right here or in your jungle. If you're over here, you're closer to the enemy top laner than you would be otherwise. And same thing with closer to the enemy bot lane. So I take these raptors. And then I keep an eye on the death timers. Xayah's spawning in a little bit sooner than Braum. You can assume that they're going to come back bot lane or try to clear this mid wave. So you and Yasuo will need to get this dragon and work on the enemy bot lane turret. You don't really need to rotate back mid because you already have the inhibitor there. So you're pushing this inhibitor by yourself. You need to be really careful because if you get CC'd, you're so deep in their base that they can just get to you very quickly. You can easily solo him. You have red buff and you're way more fed. You need to look on the minimap. You can see 2 people over here, 2 people over here. So you know he's all by himself. So you need to auto attack, Q through him with Eon. You smite him, Q through him with your Eon, Fear, stay on him. You don't even need an ult. Very good. Well played, my man. You're keeping a close eye on the minimap. TF's getting way too close. I guess he doesn't realize you still have your ultimate. You're slowed. Never fear before you ult like this unless you're going to get an AoE fear on the enemy team, because you're just wasting your fear. So you ult now, you waste your fear. It doesn't extend the duration of your ultimate CC. Then you immediately Q through him with your Titanic on and you get the kill. Well played. You're basically solo carrying this game. Now, at this point, you don't want to go back into your own jungle. It was a good thing you got those kills and got the inhibitor, but now there's no point in farming your own jungle. You should either be grouping with your team or motioning for a Baron. You decide you want to farm. Your ultimate is up. This is actually really risky because if they AoE stun you, you're going to be in trouble. Your ultimate is up though. What I would do is probably activate Fear around here, Flash, Fear, and one-shot Xayah because she's the main threat here. You Q through bomb, you get off fear, good. You weren't willing to use your flash, so you got slowed and stunned too much before you could get to her. Wait for him to throw it. If you time that properly, you can get to him even after he throws his yellow card. Just be in mid-air when it hits you and it won't stop you. Yeah. You're a little bit greedy with your flash. So he stuns you, Braum comes up, you start to panic a little bit. You flash, and I'm not quite sure what you ult there. That was a weird situation. Overstaying a little bit. Finish off the TF, very good. And I'd get the hell out. Oh wow, that was an interesting juke. You do get away from the Vel'Koz. Alright, you got your more cooldown. I assume you're building a Spirit Visage because they have quite a bit of AP. That's a very smart buy. You did go for a Deadman's, which is fine. Your build's actually really interesting because the Deadman's gives you extra magic damage on hit, plus a slow, so the Sork Shoes make sense, I guess. See how it plays out. You need to really be grouping with your team and ping for Baron. You guys don't want this game to go past 30 minutes. You're gonna die here. You can feel it. Yeah, not worth. Even though you did get that kill 1v4, it's still not worth because you're the most fed person on your team by a long shot. So if they kill you and trade any one of them, it's good for them. Plus, trading gold is bad whenever you're ahead because you're just diluting your gold lead. You really need to be pinging for Baron, setting that up, and killing them when they come to stop you. Instead, you run all the way across the map. 2v4, you're going to do the same thing again where you're trying to fight them 1v4. Bad decision making. You might have to ult away here if he stuns. Alright, I wouldn't go back in, dude. Okay, you decide you want to go in, and let's see how it plays out. There's really not much you can do. Whenever you do stuff like this so late into the game, like, if this was earlier maybe and they were all low health, you could do this, but since they're all pretty much full HP, they all have ultimates up, and you're trying to fight 2v5, it's a really bad choice. You and Yasuo both just died and gave them a bunch of gold for no reason. You need to be setting up Baron. There's no reason to be forcing fights. You're playing like you're behind. You guys are ahead. You guys can force them to make bad decisions. They shouldn't be forcing you to make bad decisions. Picking for the Baron, you need at least one person to come. This is bad. You don't want to do it while your AD carry's dead. When every single enemy is alive and your AD carry isn't with you or is dead, you shouldn't be doing Baron. This is going to end up very badly. Yeah. I knew that wasn't going to end up well. You guys started Baron while they're all still alive and in the area. Plus, you only had 4 people instead of 5. There was no way that was going to end up well. Alright, so you're desperate. You ult in. You don't hit anybody. And you keep going in with your Eon. Getting chunked down, torn up. Really not much you can do, to be honest, with Ezreal ADC. You need to catch them out of position, not force a fight. Yeah, that's probably game, to be honest. They could easily get Baron off of that and snowball this. They have more gold now as a team. So you're coming back in, your ultimate's up, and you're like, oh, I want to fight this. The thing is, they have too much disengage with the Braum and the Vel'Koz, and even if you do go in, you're going to get stunned by the Braum, amumu, Twisted Fate, and you can't really go for the 80 carry since it's Xayah. You really need to be looking for picks or forcing objectives, but it's a little late for that. You should have been forcing objectives when you guys had a massive goal lead. Now they're actually ahead. You go in. I turn on the Vel'Koz right now, to be honest. It's tricky though with the TF. Whenever TF throws his yellow card on you, you ulted too soon. I'll show you what I mean. You panicked a little bit. You have to be really fucking patient when you use Warwick's ult to dodge CC. So that was a good move you did there. And now look. So whenever he threw the first card at you, I guess he thought it was the stun card. So you ulted right as he was throwing his yellow card. It hasn't even hardly left his hand yet. So right when you hit him, you get like stunned. You have to wait till you can literally see his yellow card in midair and then jump. That way in midair, it'll hit you, won't do anything, and then you'll still land your ult. So another stun. Yeah. I don't know how this is going to end. If I had to guess right now, I'd say you guys lose unless Yasuo can manage to carry this somehow. Alright, so your teammates, they're pushing up. Hopefully they can get this inhibitor. They're farming some more. You guys need to stop going back mid when you have an enemy inhibitor down. You're just wasting your own time. Get the Vel'Koz. Immediately call for Baron right now. You guys shouldn't be able to end the game since you don't have your minions with you yet, and there's still 2 of them alive. If you guys end the game here, I'm going to be very surprised. You go into the bush, going to get red buff, it seems, and you get torn the fuck up. Surprised you got out of there with your flash and your ultimate. Very impressive. Since 3 of them are dead, you guys all really should have been mid. You might have actually been able to end it because these 2 have such a late spawn. For some reason, you're all over here. Think about it. If you and Yasuo were over here and Janna, you guys might have actually been able to end it. The red buff probably wasn't worth it. When only 2 of them are alive, I said you guys couldn't end it, but since you did have that super minion coming, I didn't realize how long the amumu Vel'Koz spawn was. TF was going to come in and try to stop you, but you guys could have gotten at least 2 turrets or gone for a Baron. If you don't think you can end the game, whenever you have an open inhibitor and you kill several of them, just take the Baron. It's a massive gold swing and huge buff. Good ult on Twisted Fate. Q through him. Fear. Good job. Oh, wow. Yeah, you guys have turned this game. You guys have finally grouped. You're getting proper picks. I try to end it. Okay, you guys have to back off. Get out. So you go back in. You should just let your teammates die if they were getting caught. You can't save them from themselves. Enemies are overextending. For some reason, neither team has taken Baron yet. You guys did get 2 turrets, which is great. You got 2 base turrets. Don't be split pushing on Warwick this late into the game. Like, it's fine for you to kill this wave, but don't follow it. Just go back with your team. You need to be looking for a pick. If you don't get a pick, you're not going to be that useful this late into the game. After the 30-minute mark, you're going to find a steep fall-off point for Warwick to the point where he's not that useful anymore. A move is going to be quite a bit more useful for his team than you are to yours. Braum out of position. You threw him good. Yeah, you really need to play around this Yasuo. This Ezreal doesn't really know what he's doing, and Yasuo has a whole bunch of damage and a lot of kills. You really need to play around him. Good ultimate onto amumu, trying to take him down to make up your death. Unfortunate. Honestly, you should have gone for Merc Treads or Tabbies. Those sword shoes aren't really doing you any good at this point in the game. Holy shit. So you're going to do a super jump here. You find someone really low on health and just fucking zoom. That was pretty intense. A really good pick on your part. After you guys killed the amumu, I would have just ended the game. Say it's 5v... Oh, never mind. Ezreal's dead. Baron was probably the right call. I take it back. Just take the Baron. Take the Baron and wait for Ezreal to respawn. Good ultimate, TF out of position. That's what you have to be looking for in a team fight on Warwick. When enemies don't want to fight or one of them steps up too far, pick them out. Now Brahm's coming in. I don't know why. If they kill him, the enemy's just lost. They just threw the game. They were going to win it, to be honest. All they had to wait for was an amumu ult, but amumu was split pushing bot like a bimbo. And then you got a good pick on TF. Good job. That's the game. Just shove down mid and you won. No, you don't even need to go there. They don't have any base turrets. Just end the game. It's 5v3. There's no reason to come over here. Activated E too soon. Don't activate E until you're within Q range or flash range if your flash is up. Otherwise, you just end up wasting it because they'll just flash away or jump or something. Just end the game, man. Okay, so I'm going to talk about some of the main things I saw. Now, I will say your early game jungling was good and really bad. You should have never started on your blue versus an amumu. There's really no point since you know he has to get his blue buff early game or he's fucked. You should have invaded this. You should have been right here. You should have waited around this area until 120, then ran down. By the time you're here, it should be 132. So the blue buff will be spawned in for 2 or 3 seconds. And then you can either walk in the bush or ward it. I typically ward it because enemies don't figure out what's going on very well. So even if he is getting a leash, then you just run over to the plant, wait till it's 600 HP, pop the plant, Q smite, and they never get it from you because your Q smite is too hard to outsmite. It's like trying to outsmite a Nunu. After you killed him here, you were smart to come down over here because this was the only other place he would go because this buff wasn't here, this buff was gone, and this buff was gone. So his next move as a jungler was to come to get this buff. He was greedy. In reality, if he was smart, he would have come over here and played it safe and gotten these 2 camps, but he didn't. So you came down here, you did the Raptors, you should have pulled them into the bush. You can stand here on the edge and still kill them without them resetting. So I'd come into the bush. That way you don't have to waste a ward. You could actually lay your ward over here just in case he goes straight to red buff. And you can stand in the bush, so right when he walks in, you can start attacking him. At that point, you were smart coming down and killing him. He had the blood scent on him. I guess he didn't realize you could see him. You get the kill, you take the red, and then you don't go back over here and take these camps. I would have really liked to have seen that. You already had a massive foothold on him. He's like level 2. You were level 3 or 4 with double buffs. You could have easily come back, taken these 2 camps, and then back. Once you were level 6, you neglected to gank a lane. You kind of just kept power farming. Right when you hit level 6 on Warwick, assuming you have enough mana to use your ult, Q, and E, you need to be ganking something. As long as it's not a stupid dive or a really bad move, you need to be ganking something with that ult. Also, I want to talk about your build. Dead Man's Play isn't that good on Warwick. With your W speed up, I highly recommend getting a Thornmail for armor instead. And Frozen Heart, also really useless. I recommend getting a Locket or a Knight's Vow instead. I would have put that on Yasuo for sure. And for your boots, the Sork shoes, not really quite sure how I feel about those. I don't think Warwick does enough magic damage to justify it. I would have gone with the Tabbies or Merc Treads instead. Late game, you were extremely cocky and kept forcing plays. You kept jumping in on people or going in 1v4. You did it once here, once top, and then you did it once over here with Yasuo, 2v5. That was a massive gold swing you kept giving to them. Plus, while you're spawning in for those 40 seconds, there's nothing your team can do. So you're not only giving them gold from your death, but you're giving them 40 or 50 seconds of guaranteed passive gold without any of them dying, since your team can't fight them while you and Yasuo are dead. So you did 2 of those plays here, which stalled the game out for another 3 or 4 easy minutes for them, which is really bad on Warwick late game. Definitely avoid fights where it's 2v5 like that. You want to try to stay with your team and get picks, or if you can confirm someone is by themselves, then you can go in on them by yourself. For example, when you were here and Amumu was here and you take an inhibitor, you saw there's 2 enemies top, 2 enemies bot, so you know you're in the clear to kill Amumu, which is fine. Overall, late game, don't run around the map by yourself on Warwick. Stay with your team, get picks, force objectives. You want to get that Baron sooner. I really do like how you use your abilities. You really had good timing on your auto attack Q with your E, getting off solid fears. Also, when enemies were trying to use the plant like Amumu, you'd Q through him in a really good way, timing it properly so that way you'd go with him. I was really impressed with that. Overall, your mechanics as a Warwick player, I would say, are like 9 out of 10 or 8 out of 10, but you need to be more aggressive in the early game, especially against weak enemy junglers. That's pretty much all I have to say. If you want coaching, check out the prices in down in the description below or in my channel's about page. If you want to support this channel, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help me out immensely. My name is KingStix. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.